Hello everyone. It's a really nice day today. Haven't recorded like this in a while. Haven't been doing much in my life because I'm about to go back. Well, the preparations for going back to university are happening right now, where I'm going to be staying and stuff. Cheaper options, getting my student loan sorted out. This has been a hectic few days, maybe like the last week or two. So I've just been trying to deal with all that. It's just been a bit much. Also had to fight with my dad quite a bit about funding and stuff. It sucks to be poor, dude. It really does. Anyways, I want to talk about something interesting today. For me, at least, it is one of the more interesting things that I've come across since I started streaming. And it's when your personal values are probably built upon what your parents have taught you and what you've experienced as a younger person. So you might be 13, you might be 17, you might even be 40, but you've like compiled these values and they're all yours, but they're probably shared by the people you've compiled them from in some way. And what you define as stupid, someone else might not, which brings me to... I'm tired. Had a little jog just now. Trying to get fit, you know. What you define as stupid, someone else might define as genius. You know, for a lot of people you can take much broader subjects and sort of apply it to that. So, going to the moon, gigantic waste of money. Going to the moon, gigantic leap in scientific progress that ultimately may not lead to anything, ultimately may lead to everything. That's sort of logic, you know what I mean? And it's hard to argue with people about it because it was a huge, I wouldn't say waste, because it's not to me, but it was a huge sink of money that people gave away. And, you know, all in all, it comes down to it being a very big race. And if they took the time to properly weigh things out, it would have been cheaper. You know, if I'm talking about the moon here, not space in general. If they'd taken the time to do things properly, it would have been cheaper because they wouldn't have had to rush anything. They wouldn't have had to hire huge swaths of scientists at the same time when work overlaps, meaning that it's less productive. You know, stuff like that. So since I started streaming, it's been a sort of mixed bag on sharing my opinions versus trying to keep things clean, because recently there's been a huge uptake in alt-right, like alt-right people and SJW left and whatever else you want to call them. Like, there's been a huge amount of people who have been sort of, they're no longer scared to share their beliefs, you know. So they'll like scream like fuck Islam or fuck white people, you know, stuff like that. They're no longer scared to let people know what they're talking about, or to let people know what they think. And now that's not inherently a bad thing, I wouldn't say, at least not in my opinion. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it is pretty bad when it infringes on what other people deem acceptable. So to say fuck Islam to an Islamic family, for example, is wrong to me. It's wrong, like, but it's not the same as saying fuck Nazis to a Nazi family. Because to me, my values will tell me that one is inherently evil, built on evil principles and foundations, and the other one is Islam. And that'll be different for a lot of people, especially recently in the last 2 or 3 years with Donald Trump's presidency coming out. A lot of terrorism happening around the world, most of it being sourced back to Islamic people and stuff like that, you know. And it just hasn't been it hasn't been a particularly good time for Islam. Well, on the other hand, I grew up in a very big Muslim community. Cape Town is one of the biggest Muslim communities in the world. And to me, Islam was actually my favorite religion when I was a kid. I preferred it much over to being Catholic, because I was effectively forced to be Catholic just because of my upbringing. And that was what I believed was right. Nowadays, it doesn't matter what I believe. But it was, that was it, you know. That was pretty crazy to think about, really. I'm gonna keep on walking before we run out of daylight here. Anyways, I'm gonna head to the shops quickly. and I'll carry on discussing when I get back. But it is interesting. It's something worth thinking about at least. Alright, so I'm done shopping for this week, or how groceries go. Usually it might even be till tomorrow. We'll have to see. Whoops, sorry. Whoops. My bad. So can't use my other hand because I'm carrying like 20-30 kilograms. This shopping bag, or 3 shopping bags, are ridiculous. So I'll probably have a few people in the comments saying, well, this is why I hate all religion. I hate all of it and always have. Or religions are all a thing of hate and stuff like that, you know. And I usually say to those people, like, you've missed the point entirely. And you'll get a lot of people who agree with you. Dude, I'm shaking this camera because I'm trying to put my glasses up because lights in my eyes. But to those people, I just think they've missed the point of it entirely, really. But maybe that's my fault for not enunciating my point properly. You see, for a lot of people, religion is all they have. My family are very Catholic, and religion is a big part of their life. And sure, they donate to the church every now and then, but it's not a thing about money or control. The church doesn't control them or anything like that. They don't hate people. In fact, my family are the biggest group of pacifists that you'll find. Maybe yours is even more than mine. But to me, violence is just never the answer. And to a lot of people that I know. Because of the way that I was brought up, which has a lot to do with Catholicism. And when I stopped talking now to go to the shops and stuff, I just thought about what I was saying a lot. And, you know, I'm speaking about right-wing stuff, but leftists are just as bad. Any people on the edge of the spectrum are just the worst. And they're just bad examples for the humanity, like, as a whole. Like, humankind is just, it does not benefit from having these people spread their opinions, because then they spread misinformation. And misinformation is worse than having bad opinions, because then other people might believe you, you know? And that's the worst, because then you're spreading this thing of hate, and it just doesn't end up well. I know this looks weird, but I'm just recording.
That's fine.
Yeah, you spread misinformation, and then that in turn does more damage, because those people might spread misinformation, and then where does it end, you know? Big group of dumb idiots spreading information about things that they have no idea about. My message isn't to stop hating everyone, it's just to think about it a bit more, think about things a bit more before you lay down some all-encompassing opinion. Just wanna lay this down a little bit. Also, I had someone ask the other day, why do I have a dimple on my left cheek and not on my right one? It's just a bit more. It's because I was in a skateboarding accident when I was a kid and it just took out a chunk of my cheek, so it shows a little bit more. I don't know why exactly. I didn't even go to the doctor for it. It's just been there. Just a little bit more. Anyways, so I'll say thank you for watching.